Sorry y'all, technical difficulties. I don't know at what point that last video, I'll find out when I download it. But there was a message on Aquarius, the personal being political, a message on diplomacy, on freedom, liberation for self means rethinking divine masculine energy, and divine feminine energy, and what it means to have both of those energies being balanced. So sticking to our commitments, but not being so enveloped in our commitments that we forget to take care of self. And finding a balance in that is still a journey. So allowing ourselves to embody both of those things. Also looking in terms of our relationships, that we're not overworking, but we are looking at, you know, the morals and values of our community members, of ourselves, and seeing who and what we align with. So what is this energy of this new moon in Aquarius? What is the energy of this new moon in Aquarius? We have this dragon's blood that's just going off. It's, you know, going off with the sunset. I'm really praying that whatever y'all are manifesting comes into fruition in a really quick manner. And I'm seeing again that, like, that Pisces energy, like whatever we manifest is going to come into fruition within the next 2 weeks, especially during that Pisces full moon. So the card that fell out is authenticity for this new moon in Aquarius. I want to see if there's any other cards that want to come out for us. No, I think not. At the bottom of the deck we have 4th chakra, which is definitely a big energy I've been feeling. So like I said, like we're reevaluating intimacy. So 4th chakra is this green energy, and it supports our inner guidance system, which is governed deeply by our heart and our capacity to love deeply. At the top of the deck we have transparency, which is this blue energy. The energy of transparency supports our expansion toward higher vibrational state with more insight, honesty, and clarity. So we're expanding towards this vibrational state that is different from what we may be used to. And it's a matter of like acclimating ourselves to these transitions. And also just like trusting our honesty, trusting our insight, trusting the clarity and messages that we're receiving, and trusting what is us, and like knowing the discernment between what is not us and what is us. What is anxiety? What is, you know, rooted in love? What is rooted in clarity versus what is rooted in lack consciousness. So with this energy, also this pink energy here, again, this pink and gold is coming up heavy. This pink, gold, and blue, maybe lighting some pink, gold, and blue candles for throat chakra, heart chakra. And authenticity supports our choice to be genuine and truthful in all aspects of our lives with others as well as with ourselves. So I think it's real cute when we're being transparent towards other folks, but like, how can you be more authentic and transparent within yourself? How can you recognize, oh, maybe you need help, maybe you need more self-care, maybe you need to actually stick to your commitments a little bit more, maybe you need to you know, listen to your word. If you're consistently betraying self, you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm not gonna do, then you don't do it. Okay, I'm gonna move in this way, but then you don't move in this way. Okay, I'm gonna give myself more joy by doing this, but then you don't end up giving yourself that joy. So I think we're really coming to an end with these self-sabotaging, self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging actions. And the authenticity supports our choice to be genuine, truthful in all aspects of our lives, with others as well as with ourselves. So moving in love means moving in truth. And that's really what I'm seeing. Is like you can move in truth and move in love and speak that truth, speak that love, while also not betraying yourself. And I think that sometimes we feel like we have to go into relationships and not really state how we feel or compromise on how we feel. But I think this Aquarius new moon is telling us that we don't need to compromise our morals and our values. And I think like there are certain things that we do need to compromise on, like, you know, what we're gonna eat for dinner. But there's other things that we don't, and that's just on Mary Had a Little Lamb. So that's that energy, and I think it's just like resonating heavily with this energy of like our morals and this Aquarius energy of looking with a greater discernment. Yeah, I think it's sticking to our path, fidelity, with this like lily, it looks like. I don't know what that is, but and it's like you're coming up to this fork in the road and you're at a standstill. I think like, yeah, the word sobriety coming up, fidelity, and dance. The bottom of the deck we have winter. So on lonely nights I start to feel her love's 1,000 miles away. That's what I'm thinking of. Memories made in the coldest winter. Goodbye, my friend. Whatever lessons that you need to learn are being learnt today, and that is on wisdom. That is on acquiring wisdom. That is on listening to your divine feminine energy, listening to what you need. And I think it's just like sticking true to your path. Maybe you're locking it up. Maybe you need a period of sobriety to know truth, to understand like what your truth is, to know like what it is that you're feeling. Just kind of like this riverbend behind me. These changes, whatever path that we take, you know, is aligned. We've chose this before we came on this earth. I wonder what other messages we have here. Could I still feel full to call this? Yeah, just stick true to your path. And if that means that you made a commitment to yourself to, you know, be sober in some way, whether that be from sexual relationships, whether that be from, period to these cards coming out, whether that be with smoking, drinking, talking to yourself in a specific ways. I think we're like really sticking to this path of like self-love, and I think that it's these simple things that really we're letting die out. Like we're letting self-betrayal die out. We're letting lack consciousness die out. We're letting this idea that we're not co-creators of our universe die out, because we are. We got this winter again coming out for us. Like what needs to die will die. And this writer also coming out of the energy of we need to be able to write down what it is that we are feeling, what it is that we're experiencing. We need to be able to write down so we have a greater clarity and we can go back to it. So maybe positive affirmations, maybe writing down a list of things that we want to release from our lives that are not in alignment with love and kindness. And yeah, North is coming out also with Cape. So like things are going to be revealed to us. Like I think there's just so many planets in air signs and in Aquarius. Like there's a whole ass Aquarius stellium going on right now, and that means that we're getting direct messages from source. We're getting clear ideas. It's a matter of listening to them, picking them up, writing down what we no longer want, and writing down what we do. So a garnet used to tease, hide, and protect. Maneuvered like a second skin, swirling in the air, planned execution of thought with action yields results. Planned execution of thought with action yields results. you are ready for the match. So if this is something that you've been like, you're thinking on, you're like, I don't know if I can handle this, like you're thinking that whatever it is that you're trying to manifest can't come into fruition, I think it's going to come to you very clearly with this new moon, between the new moon and the full moon. This winter energy I wanted to read on because it came out twice, and it says, barren trees are covered in blankets of white snow. Be soothed by the respite, knowing that these dormant times will culminate in accordance with Mother Nature's laws. So we're all abiding by nature. We're all abiding by our own clocks and like a greater clock, or greater Gaia's way of like the earth turning. And I feel like, yes, it may be winter, but there's a reason and a season for everything. So right now may be a time to just like lay low. Maybe a time to, you know, meditate. It may be a time to become clear on the things that you want, feel. This energy of transparency, authenticity. And that's on period. So yeah, I'm gonna ask for some guidance, some specific guidance for this. Let's see if I have any other deck here. I don't. I'm going to pull from my oracle deck, which is Graciela La Gitana Oracle. Sorry, y'all. Hello? Is it working?
It's recording.
Okay. What is our advice for this new moon in Aquarius? All these messages, all this dragging. What is our advice? I think a part of that is rest. It's time to relax. Take a breather. Breathe. Literally setting 20 minutes of time aside to meditate. Being intentional about your breath. Being intentional about eating mindfully. Ooh. Our advice card is North and Fool. What I'm seeing is like new beginnings. Ooh, and kindness at the top of the deck. If nothing else, be kind. I love this kindness card. With some rose. Maybe spend time by some water. North speaks of, when I think of this, I think of what direction your bed is in. So your ancestor altar should be facing the north and your head should be laying to the south. Because north is like for dead people. South is for like ease, kind of like softness, patience. West is for getting rich. If you lay your head to the right, you're supposed to like become more wealthy. And I don't remember what east is for, but that's what I'm hearing. Rearrange your room if you can. North. Oh, it's in the front. Okay. The North speaks to you of the past. The elders impart their wisdom, sharing history through pictures and words, providing comfort and understanding. Yeah, so like I said, y'all are going to be hearing direct messages from your ancestors, elders, that are going to help you throughout this. And I think it's like, bring your problems to your community. Like, we like to do things in isolation, but especially Black and brown folks, a lot of our communities are based in community. Like, no one else does community like us from the get-go. Like, there's no intimacy with our community, and our community also is a part of our connection to spirit. So like, stop being isolated. Fool speaks of believing what easily comes is yours for the keeping. Reflect on the actions you are about to make. They may bring discomfort and distress, and your life could become a cautionary tale. Just reflect. It's not to become anxious, it's just reflect on the things that you want to do. Why? The bird said it. What was the reason? Why are you moving in these ways? What are you feeling? And just be kind to yourselves. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to your community, be gentle with self. That's literally what I'm hearing. Okay. I'm going to pull this last card on advice for our relationships. Since relationships are brought up, advice for our relationship. What is the advice for our relationships? I think this is going to be the last card. So this could be all relationships, basically. Nothing is yet set in stone at the bottom of the deck. It's a mutable moon, meaning that like more clarity is needed, more adjustments are required. This third quarter moon, top of the deck, is full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. So make a plan. Make a plan on your dreams, projects, relationships. Where do you see these things going? And this is not about the short term. With this full moon, with this new moon in Aquarius, we're looking at the long term. We're looking at long-term things in the next 6 months, year, 5 years, 10 years. Where do you see yourself? And what relationships do you think align with that vision of who you are? And how can you start making moves on that? So, yes. That is the energy. This is the Blue Hex, and I am the Blue Hex on Instagram. Feel free to hit my Cashapp. Feel free to hit me a like. Feel free to follow. Subscribe to my channel so you can get these updates when they pop up. I really appreciate you trusting me in this, and I really pray for clarity. I really pray for the removal of all blockages. That St. Michael, St. Oriel come through, just removing all blockages for your abundance. And I pray that, and I really feel that like these blockages are already like gone. We are already in the state that we need to be. It's a matter of just like believing in ourselves, believing in the things that we want, and just watching them come into fruition and just in this like magical way. So my loves, it's the Blue Hex. My attitude is gratitude, and I'll hit y'all later.